Welcome to the ABCs of Home Improvement on WRCR. This is your weekly radio encyclopedia for all your home improvement projects. Featuring Laborio Derario, your friendly neighborhood architect, Mike Ash, Bill Barshow, and the cool tool girl, Elizabeth Bushy. They're ready to take your calls and answer questions about your home improvement projects. Call now, 845-362-0013.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the ABCs of Home Improvement. This is Mike Ash, and we're looking out the window. It's absolutely colorful, beautiful, and a nice breezy day. Good morning, Lee.
Hey, Mike. Good morning. Great to be with you folks out there in Radio Land on this great 1700 AM station with 10 billion zillion megawatts blasting all over the United States and halfway around the world, Mike. So great to be with you folks out there. We're looking forward to a great show on architecture today, Mike.
I heard we got a professional in for this one.
And look outside, Mike. Once again, the ABCs of Home Improvement brings you sunny days and beautiful
Colorful.
We've
Beautiful.
It's unbelievable, Mike. So we've had one rain day in 3 seasons. It's not
so
bad.
That's what keeps everything going. A little bit of rain always.
So we'd like to throw a big shout out again to our main sponsor, Torn Valley Vineyards, up in the Torn Valley. Open every Saturday and Sunday for your wine tasting, live music, and food from their cafe. They're open today. It's a beautiful day. Go up there and listen to some live music, taste some of the wines, meet the folks up there. Tomorrow they are closed for a special private event. So if you make the trip up there, you're not going to be able to attend any of the wine tastings because Sunday...
Someone's getting married, maybe.
Yeah, they have a big corporate event there. They have a special, a big one. The tents were up. I was up there yesterday with the guys, and we were sampling some of the nice wines that they have there. And a couple hours later, we got out of there. They had places to go. So Torn Valley Vineyards, one of the only working vineyards in Rockland County. And like we like to, our motto is where great wine and great food and live music meet great people. They do have an event coming up in a couple of weeks on Halloween evening. It's their big Halloween Masquerade Bash, the Monster Mash with Wayne Cobham and the Funk That Band. And if you haven't ever heard that Funk That, you got to get up there and listen to those funkin' guys. They are incredible. Third time around, this will be my fourth time seeing them. It's October 31st from 8 to 11. It's a buffet dinner. You guys come out there, go onto their website, check out their information. They are giving away awards for the sexiest costume and the scariest costume. So
almost the same thing.
That's right. I have a table already built up of almost 21 people coming. So we're looking forward to that. And we have a couple more that are, I just got a call from a friend of mine, John Calabro. He's bringing 3 more. So, and I told him to call up there and make sure because after 150 people are closing it down. And I think they're up over 100 already, Mike.
Nice.
So Torn Valley Vineyards up there, Rockland County's only working
I'm
vineyard.
sure after mentioning them today, they'll be over.
Excellent. So now, Mike, this week we received over 1,200 likes on our Facebook page, and it's amazing how the population of viewers on Facebook is growing. And we received 17 emails, so a little light on the emails from last week. And our questions are always about how do we start a project? What do we do if we're trying to remodel a kitchen? So we get some of the general information always coming in about similar stuff. So today I figured we'd do a show on architecture and a little bit about that, Mike, you know?
Personal interest, I can tell already.
Yeah, well, listen, you know what? You guys spoke, Billy spoke, and I'd like to thank a couple of our listeners out there. We have a couple of folks that called in, and Billy went out there, and I have their names here, so Billy wanted me to mention them. We had Joan Goldberg, and we had Dorothy Hoonjan, one from Pomona and one from Spring Valley. Billy went out there. One of those jobs is a kitchen rehabilitation that she wanted some of her cabinets looked at and so forth, and another one was a concrete deck with a room underneath that she wanted to have repaired. So Billy's been out on both of those. We have taken those jobs, and we want to thank our listeners for calling in and trusting us and our professionals here to do the work.
They're very smart to understand that.
Yeah, well, our goal here, as we always say, is to educate the homeowner. We like the homeowner to be educated. Why? Because once they're educated, they're happy. They know what they're going to get. There's no surprises. They understand the parameters and budget.
It's amazing how long the two of us have been in business already.
Mike, 30-some-odd years, huh? Isn't it amazing?
Between the two of us, we got 60 plus.
And neither one of us is over 40. That's the most incredible thing.
It's magic, man.
Thank God our mother started us early at 10 years old in this business,
Really?
huh, Mike?
She gave you a hammer?
And what you give you, Mike?
I got myself a pencil. Still drawing.
So thanks for listening out there and trusting in our experts here. And again, 1700 a.m. Give us a call. We have a bunch of items from the Magic Hat today. 845-362-0013. We are giving away a free wine tasting for two after 11:30. If you give a call in and say, I love the ABCs of home improvement.
Easy enough.
Easy enough. We will be able to give you guys a tasting for two.
And a gorgeous area.
And you go up to the vineyard. You mention the ABCs there. You give them your name, and they'll let you in there. File. And you'll have a lot of fun. From the Magic Hat, Mike, we have today, again, and if you call up at any time during the show, we've given away 2 screwdriver sets. We have another one here today, the official screwdriver set of the ABCs of home improvement.
Everything you could possibly want.
18 pieces,
Amazing.
autographed by Mike, myself, and Billy. So if you want, give us a call anytime. ABCs of home improvement. Say you love us, and that's your gift. If you answer the questions of the week, which are coming up right now, we have a digital camera, we have a digital frame, and we have today some iPhone 6 plus alligator cases in black. And we also have a bonus here for the first caller of the day. Anyone calling in, we're going to throw in the George Benson and Al Jarreau.
I'll call him right now.
Okay, this is from Ray Bolson from Ray Bolson. Gosh, I'm blanking now on his thing here, but he's from Sound. What was he from? Look on our website here. I'm missing Ray. I apologize for you. I got so much stuff in front of me here. Supervision. There we go. Ray Bolson from Supervision, one of our sponsors. He's on our link. You can check in with him. So that's what we have. Now, the questions of the week, since we're talking about architecture, Mike.
Since we're talking about it.
Yeah, here we go. Where was the first documented set of architectural drawings from?
Caveman time.
Where was it created, and what century was it created? So we're talking century, and we're talking, where was it done, and perhaps if you want to know what building was it for. So there's a third bonus question for you.
That's great.
So that's it. Put down your cup of coffee and give us a call.
Check Google.
So Mike, let's talk about architecture today. So let me give you a little background about myself, Mike.
I only know you. How many years already? 30 what years?
30 some odd years. Good thing Billy's not here because Billy doesn't even know me since kindergarten. I don't think, Mike. So I started out. We lived. Let's start from the Bronx, Mike, since that's where we both actually originated.
Exactly.
Right, and my dad was a New York City police officer at the 23rd Precinct. There was a law where you couldn't bring your guns across state lines at that point, and they didn't have the Tappan Zee Bridge built. So we stayed in the Bronx until that law changed in 1964, 65. My folks moved up to Suffern, New York. And then a lot of the family, once they saw the country here, because they used to come up and visit for barbecues and picking tomatoes out of the garden from the Bronx, they slowly all migrated up here and moved into the Muncie area, Suffern area, Stony Point area, and so forth. And I started my education here at Suffern Cherry Lane School, Mike. And of course,
they're very happy.
In a little old red schoolhouse, which I drew on with crayons and so forth, and maybe that's where I got my beginnings. I don't know.
Keep going.
Right. So keep going. So then at that point, I went through school and I was getting into a lot of trouble, Mike.
Not you.
So my mom decided instead of study halls and all this other nonsense that was getting me in trouble, that I was going to take a mechanical drawing class.
Now you're talking with that started.
7th and 8th grade was sort of shop with a little drawing, but there was so much free time in high school and too much trouble to get into. I think I met every principal. Mr. Guccione, Mr. Neff, Dr. Woodward, and then there was some guy named Knowles there that he had to twist my head a little bit and find out what was going on up there. But then ultimately I got thrown out of that drawing class my first semester, my first year in there.
You were pre-advanced.
I didn't want to go. Everybody was in study halls, and I was stuck going to this class. And
fun.
Ultimately, after a semester of my dad going to talk to the teacher and the principals and everybody, and being forced to sit there, I actually started to enjoy it, Mike.
Really? You had no choice at that point.
Right. When you have no choice, you got to make the best of the situation.
I can see what Dad told you by then.
Right. He told me in more ways than one.
I'm sure.
So I decided to start the drawing classes, and I actually went through the entire high school 4-year program. I created my own program as a senior because I only had 3 years of programs. I did engineering drawing, architectural drawing, schematic drawing, isometric drawings. And by the time I got to
all before computers. That's amazing.
Yeah, all hand drawn. perspective drawing.
Yeah.
If you go on my website, you'll see some of the ink drawings that we did, ink on Mylar perspectives. So by the time I got to senior year, there was no program, so we created a design your own house program, your dream house. And so that took me through the last semester as a senior. When everybody had half days, I was still there doing my drawing work.
You're still doing that at night,
yeah, can you imagine? Till 1 or 2 in the morning. I love to work in the wee hours.
That's when everyone's asleep. It's quiet. You get your thinking cap on.
So those are the types of things that I did through high school. I applied to Cooper Union, which was tuition free, since my dad and mom were sort of on the lower level of the income. I was trying to see if I could save them some money. They took, I believe, 12 students that year on the free tuition program. I was number 16 or 17. I was 3 or 4 behind the top end there. So I really did. I was depending on that, and that was a portfolio test. You had to show what you could do in order to get in there, and you had a certain amount of time to produce it and get it into the school. And we had visited Georgia Tech, the Rambling Wreck from Georgia Tech. So that was sort of like a fallback for me, but I really didn't like that. And since we heard from Cooper Union, I wasn't admitted there. There was a school called Kansas State University, Mike.
Too much fun.
Oh, gosh, in Manhattan, Kansas. And so my dad whisked me off to Manhattan, Kansas. We looked at the school. He found out that the out-of-state tuition was $800 and something a year, $400 and something for a semester. And, of course, that was the school of choice.
Bye-bye, Lee. Bye-bye.
So we came back, and I made plans through the summer to go out to the Midwest and follow Dorothy down the yellow brick road, Mike.
Who was first?
Who was first? Well, thank God there were only a few tornadoes there, and they were out of arm's reach for us. But I wound up in a fraternity there for a few years, and we sat up on the roof and actually watched some of those funnel clouds forming out in the distance, and the alarms are going off, but none of them actually came through. They picked themselves up, and they actually went back wherever they came from, back to Oz, I guess, as it were.
Yeah, follow the yellow.
So after a few years out there with
come back to New York, Lee.
Well, okay, right, and of course I met my future wife. I had a few girls from New York that came out to visit me.
As long as you paid the fee.
And the one that stuck is the one that I'm with today.
She's a goodie.
And so I decided, I had a professor there that moved to Rensselaer Polytech as a professor from K-State University. His name was David Bell. And he sent letters to me and another gentleman from Smithtown, Long Island, and that was at K-State at the same time with me. And he said, the architectural program up here at RPI needs a little juice. It needs something. You guys know how to draw. I was carving limestone out there. I was doing vacuum forming, a lot of different art studies, color studies. Yeah. So for me, and I had my girl back here in New York. So I said, okay, let's see. And again, I told my dad, listen, I have a professor. He wants me to go to Rensselaer Polytech. And my dad's like, how much? I'm like, it's about $14,000 back then in 1983 or 82. And boy, that was some discussion we had. So I told the professor that the economics was kind of tough. He said, don't worry about it. He spoke with the dean, and I got a full scholarship there.
Wow.
For my first year of tuition was paid for. So, of course, then I could make that switch. So I packed everything up and drove down I-70 at 1,000,000 miles an hour in Troy, New York. So, who's here?
Billy.
Is this Bill Barshow?
I can't believe you guys locked me out.
Wow, see that? Well, listen, this is a closed studio, man. You'd have to say the password. The password is, I love the ABCs of home improvement.
Do I get a digital camera?
You do get a digital camera. We're going to go out on a quick break and let Billy settle in, and when we come back, we'll continue with the architectural design and so forth.
Welcome back, folks. Welcome back to the ABCs of Home Improvement. Billy's set in, headphones on, ready to go. Something about a ticket he was talking about, but we'll get into that in a second. Lee, what were you saying the next page said?
Oh, here we go. So now we're almost at 11:30, so get ready, folks. Wait that 6 minutes and give us a call for that free wine tasting, 845-362-0013. I'd like to throw a shout-out to our good buddy Clem over there. I was at his Clem Pound and looking at some great projects he's looking to do over there. I can't wait. He fired up the Bulbecue, the Clem Bulbecue, and boy, it was some nice stuff. And there's the tool of the week again. Every week we have a tool. That's a bigger tool than last week, though, Bill. Motivational quote of the week. We like to give these out every week to keep you folks moving along and motivated. This one here is from our good friend, Sir Richard Branson, and he says, business opportunity are like buses. there's always another one coming.
Amen.
So how's that sound?
Next.
You know, that was a good one. And you know what? We didn't give away we didn't actually talk about October's fall cleanup and so forth. This is the time now, and I just had it done by Sunshine Plumbing and Heating came to my house, Ralph Spano. I had a little drip coming out of one of my zone valves. So now's the time to check your furnaces, okay, folks? Not when it's freezing cold out and you have it busting when it's, 3 below or 4 below. This is the time between now and the beginning of November.
Right
Call your plumbers up. Look at your warranties on your furnaces. If you have a hot air system, change out the filters. Get all that done. While you have the vacuum out all your air conditioning vents, vacuum out the coils behind your refrigerator. Get all of that stuff ready so this way you can sit down and enjoy your football games over the course of the next few months here and not have to worry about your heating and the refrigeration
Get your fireplaces
system.
ready,
So,
everything.
and I want to thank Ralph for coming out. Great job. Ralph Spano, Sunshine Plumbing and Heating, one of our sponsors down there. Look at the bottom of our website there at the ABCs of Home Improvement. Bill, why don't you tell us about that ticket and what happened today? What's going on?
No, we didn't get a ticket.
For God's
but,
sakes.
the coppers, they had me on the side of the road, Lee.
See? All right, the
Okay,
frog is
yeah.
in town.
So,
All right, so we don't want to talk about them because they could pull you over on your way out of here.
I was just running a little late and a little fast, and
A little hot.
Yeah, coming in hot.
Coming in hot and heavy.
Heavy and hard. So, yeah, that's
Nice.
That's your normal.
Hey, why don't you
Saturday.
tell us about the guy over in Chestnut Ridge? You had another client you went out to, and you did a little work over there, some flat work. Let the folks out there know, besides doing the regular stuff, you did some great stonework. You don't see too much with the mixed colored slate.
It was incredible. It's Vermont irregular colored slate. And back in the 70s, it was very popular with all the things that were going on in the 70s. Have different color slate in your walkway.
There were
Yes.
different
And,
colors
okay,
of
it was
everything.
beautiful. It's magnificent. But now it's like 40 years old. And the slate deteriorates.
Sure.
But the concrete back then, they made some strong concrete.
Yeah.
That was
That was
unbelievable.
real concrete,
Yes.
almost like Roman concrete for the aqueducts.
That's correct. And so what we had to do was, first I had to find the slate, and it's very hard to find. I had to call several stone yards and go see several stone yards.
Who was that knucklehead up there in the chair?
Unbelievable. So we had to cut out, what we did was we cut out the old slate, then we cut out the concrete underneath the old slate.
A lot of work.
And put it, and then I made some cardboard or paper templates. And I traced it onto the new slate.
Nice.
And cut that out so each piece
Fits.
fit back in the way it was.
Mosaics, Bill Miss.
Okay,
Oh,
so-
man.
So
Billy.
we took care of our buddy Mr. X over there in Chestnut Ridge, and he's very happy.
I ran into him the other day, and he said he was very happy. And he was showing me pictures, and he says you're picking up another couple of projects from him. So that's great. So here at the ABCs of Home Improvement, not only do we get one, not only do we get two, but we get numerous additional projects after the work's been completed, and they see the way you actually operate. And he
Yeah.
was very impressed with
It
the
just
operation.
keeps rolling, one into another, and I want you back for this, and I want you back for that. So,
You can't ask for more than that in recommendation.
and Mike,
You just can't.
you've been just surviving all these years,
I
30,
know.
40 years. The two
Not
years
so.
started at 10 years old.
Yeah, can you imagine that?
And all these years and all this, just
We didn't even shave yet. We weren't
just
even
referrals,
shaving.
Just
it's all referrals.
Yep.
That's how it goes.
Well,
Yeah, so-
and we like to educate the folks out there and let them know. We like to give all of our knowledge away to everybody in our listening audience so that they can understand some of the complications that do arise during construction, and they shouldn't feel afraid. Or the selection of the contractor. We always go through that is the most important part and the most important piece of your home improvement project. With starting off on the wrong foot, it's like having a bad foundation. Once you start building on it, the whole thing's going to crumble if you
gonna
don't have the
collapse
right
on you.
base.
Yep.
So that's great stuff. Well, Bill, we're glad you're with us.
Yeah.
How was the golf game? How'd you hit him? Just so.
Well, it's incredible. We go out. We used to tee off at 6:15, but now it's 7:15 because
getting darker.
Yeah, and so what we do is we walk the back nine. At this hidden course, I can't tell anybody about it or where it is because there's nobody there. We got the whole place to ourselves.
Nice.
We play 3 balls each. So here I am. I played basically 27 holes of golf this morning in
Beautiful.
2 hours.
Sounds like
And-
LT.
And I was like 5. We'll talk about his friend a little later.
Yeah, exactly. All right, beautiful. So that's what we have today. I wanted to bring Billy in because he came in late, and I just wanted to make sure I saw him put that ticket in his pocket. He doesn't want to talk about it. So we'll just let the court systems work that one out for him.
Not a problem.
That's beautiful stuff. And, so let's get back to, talking about where I was at RPI and getting that completed. For all you folks out there listening to your friendly neighborhood architect, we did have a great time up there. I had a gentleman that transferred in from the AA in London, and another gentleman that came from the Rhode Island School of Design doing his master's program. And the three of us actually had a great couple of years up there till I finished up and got my degrees.
Nice.
I came out of school. I actually, like my daughter Gabrielle, I have 3 children, Gabrielle, Jillian, and Gregory. And Jillian is the oldest, and she's working down in New York City, graduated Ithaca College. Gabrielle is still in Marist in her 3rd year, and she comes home on the weekends like I used to do from RPI, and she's working at the Olive Garden.
Nice.
And we'll blank that out if anyone, since they're not sponsoring us. But the OG, she's working at the OG, and my son is 13, and he's running around at that time of year. And when you hit 13, a lot of the bar mitzvahs and bar mitzvahs are going on.
Holiday
So
spirits.
my wife Lori is a nurse practitioner that's now become pediatrics, and she's doing all kinds of great stuff with the kids. She used to be involved with neonatal and intensive care, and she actually formed the neonatal unit up in Good Samaritan Hospital way back when. And she decided that it was a lot of people holding a lot of sad stories there for folks, and she's
a special person.
Yes.
Only special people can do that.
So she got to a level where it was getting to her, so she went into something a little more easy on her soul, and now she does pediatrics, and she works with the kids. Does a great job as a pediatrician.
Got a great smile also.
So that my family carries me through most of the stuff that I do. That's why I do what I do. Otherwise, God knows where I'd be, Mike.
Who knows?
So
and those wings you're wearing that come out of your back.
That's
there.
right. You sure those aren't horns that are just wrapped around? So I got out of school, but as I was in school, I said, I wanted to make some money. I was always making money through school. I had my first job at Toy Box. Any of you older folks out there remember Toy Box over in the old ShopRite Center that's been blighted since the owners don't want to reconstruct that with their fight with Airmont over 30 years. But I was in Toy Box. I opened and closed the store there. I had a paper route before that. So, Mike, when I was 10, I started making money.
Did you hire Sid?
So I brought Sid in. I brought Tony Monahan in. I brought a lot of guys into that store. Wendy Foote, Janine Foote, all the people. I had a lot of people come through there. And we had a great time. The owner was a great guy, Sam Braden, and his family. And they got me started in learning about retail and customer relations. That's where, I worked the register, and people were upset if their Barron's wasn't there, if their paper was missing the coupons and so forth, and you'd have to go and...
You heard all the stories.
All the stories. So then ultimately I decided, I was in this architectural stuff, and I said, I need to find a job with an architect. And finding your first job as an architect was difficult. So I went around and I told people I'd work for free. And even then, I saw 4 or 5 guys, and everybody's like, no, we don't need... And this guy named Jim Tanner, okay?
I remember Jim.
Jim says, nobody works for me for free. I says, I'll start you a couple of days a week when you come in on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because I had no classes Friday. And we wound up starting work with him and learning the process of how to put together a set of working drawings. Because in school, they don't teach you that. In school, they don't teach you how to run a business, architectural practice. They really, it's more theoretical and design-oriented. So I learned the business through him. And then when I was getting married in 1985, I said, Jim, I need a little piece of the action. Only on the things you get paid on, and only on the things that I work on. So if you didn't get paid, because in this business, sometimes the builders sort of, hold you up a little bit. So, and I didn't.
You gotta wait and wait.
And I wasn't looking at his books. I was trusting him to just say yes. And he said, well, I can't do that. So I went home that night and told my wife I quit. About 2 weeks before I was getting married, and that was a great discussion as well.
I bet.
But then, after the wedding, we came back from the honeymoon, and I said, let me see if I did have a couple of jobs on my own. So I did actually have a couple of clients at that point, and I had an engineer who was a Rensselaer Polytech grad, like myself. He said, you know what, I'll help you out. I'll seal your plans for you. I'll oversee your work. If I need to make changes, he would advise me. And that's how I started my business, ArchiFuture. So I had that business going, but it was going slow, and being newlywed, I said, you know what, I got to get some extra jingle rolling again. So I went to the grandfather of architecture. He was one of the downlines of Frank Lloyd Wright, one of the last people to actually study under him before he died. And his name was William Eli Cohn, and he was over in New City. And he had a couple of daughters that didn't really want to go into the business, and he had nobody to pick up the business. So he was trying to groom me for that. So I started, I believe, probably in late September of 1985, and by December he fired me because I decided I wanted to have a Christmas party with the 3 other guys that were working.
I love
in
this
it.
story.
This is the
tell
best.
Tell the story. This is great.
So I asked Bill. I said, Bill, I'd like to go out on a Christmas party. I'd like to have a party in the office. No, we don't have parties. I said, okay, but we always got to have lunch for an hour. So I said, all right, so you know what, we're going to take a lunch. And I took the whole crew out, and Mount Fuji had just opened up. So imagine we drove from New City all the way up to Hilburn to the top of the mountain there. And we were having such a good time that we didn't get back until about 4:30. So we took like a 3.5-hour lunch.
He was happy with it.
Well, he was a cigarette smoker, and the smoke was coming out of his ears, his nose, his eyeballs, and he didn't say anything till everybody left, and he called me into his office, and he basically told me, he's like, you can't work for anybody. He's like, you have to be in your own business. He's like, you don't want to, he's like, you know what you're doing. There's no reason for me to pay you to, and you don't want to listen to me. And so that was it. I was on the road.
You don't conform.
That
You
was
never
it.
conform.
1980s.
You never will conform.
1985.
You're a non-conformer.
That's how it works. Okay, Founders Day, Arc of Future, 1985, and we've been rolling ever since. And we've been having a great time putting together projects for folks. And again, just like everybody in this room here, we're all word of mouth. So, a little bit of advertising here and there. We do the radio show to educate some folks, and that gets us noticed a little bit. So that's the type of stuff that got me into the business. Right, exactly. So, again, if any of you folks out there want to give a call now, it's after 11:30, 845-362-0013.
You can win a free digital camera.
And a free wine tasting for 2 at the Torn Valley Vineyards, okay? And if you have some answers, you get some free gifts here out of the Magic Hat. And again, now I'm not carrying the Magic Hat anymore. It stays here in the studio, so I actually added something special. We have a universal RCA remote control as well. So we have all kinds of gifts. All you have to do is call up and say, I love the ABCs of Home Improvement.
Easy to do.
Now I'm going to mention our picture of the week program that we have. So last week we had about 14 pictures, and we pulled the winner out of the best picture from a gentleman from North Carolina. His name is Edmund Minigo. He's doing some great work down there in North Carolina. He's about to relocate down to Florida. He's retiring now. He's done fairly well there. And his picture, if you go up on our site, is a man cave that is created out of a 30 by 35 tobacco barn, an old tobacco barn. Yes. Oh man, it's incredible. You got to go on our site and take a look. So he's our winner. He's our big winner. He gets the specialized screwdriver set. He's going to give us actually he left his information, his address and so forth down there. So he gets set number 3 is going out.
Oh, that's a collector's item.
That's a collector's item, and Billy and myself and Mike are going to autograph it for you, Ed, and this way we'll put number 3 on there, and you save that give that to your grandkids, I guess. I mean,
and their grandkids.
And their grandkids, and before you know it, those things will be like
a time capsule,
worth millions. So that's how I got through to my architectural practice. Now we've been practicing, like I said, for 30 years, and we do all types of projects, Mike. We've been starting with little additions, and also we do work for folks. Perhaps they've closed their garage off without a permit and made it into a room, or they finished their basement off, and they haven't gotten permits for it, or they bought a house, the basement was finished, and there was a deck on the back, and now they're going to refinance it or sell it. And they go, and the building department comes out and they give you violations and folks said, what the heck is this? I bought the house like
As
this.
is.
They don't understand that now these things need to be rectified and made sure they were built properly, and you need to get electricians in to verify the electrical work was done properly. So our firm this is called Certificate of Occupancy Compliance. We turn these things around for folks in 72 hours. And we get you guys on track. So if you're refinancing your house, it doesn't hold up the bank. If you're trying to sell your house, it doesn't hold up the title company or the title exchange because of these violations, and we clear the violations. Now, if there's a problem,
that's another story.
Now we call up Billy or Mike, and we get them in there to take care of the items that might need to be rectified to make them code compliant. Updating and making sure that it's everything is built the way it should be, and then we give you the letter of certification. And that's it. And
We
the
make
building
it
department
kosher.
moves it on.
Tremendous service, Lee.
Yeah,
that
that's
is a tremendous service.
We've been doing a lot of, when the homes were being refinanced about seven or 8 years ago, we did a ton of those, and then it slowed down because of the recession. And now in the last year and a half, 2 years, people are refinancing. The rates went lower again, and we've been getting a lot of that work. So if you have an issue like that or know somebody has an issue like that, give us a call and at 845-351-2600 at my office. We'll plug you in and we'll get out there and we can turn those around very quickly. So that's another service that a lot of people don't know about. We've sent out mailers to realtors and title companies and folks where these things appear when somebody's selling their house. But a lot of folks don't know about it until that time. And it's okay unless your deck is falling off or you have sparks shooting out of your outlets in the basement. Then you'll call somebody immediately.
At that point, yes.
Right. So that's the type of stuff that we do. And we have all kinds of projects going on right now. We're actually working on a project, like we said, I got last week, a fire job down in Suffern where the house was burned, back part of the house. And we need to go in and check the structure on the burnt members and see what we can save and what has to be replaced. And that project is actually it was actually permitted this week. So that one was done. And we did another one in Old Tappan that just got permitted for a gentleman named Nick Pappas on Old Tappan Road. And his was a ranch house, and the gentleman bought the house, and he's adding a whole second floor to it. So he's renovating the lower floor, adding a second floor in an area of houses that are between $800 and $1.4 million. He got a great deal on the ranch house, and he wants to live in the area, so he's creating his own environment there to start his family and so forth.
Sure,
So
it's going to make it beautiful.
yeah, exactly. So that's the type of stuff we do. If you folks have an opportunity, give us a call here again, 845-362-0013. We're going to go out on a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to have some motivational, we're going to have quotes from the architects, and we're going to have a little cool tool section. Even though the cool tool girl is missing today, we're going to see if we can do something here with that. Okay.
Folks, we're back again, the ABCs of Home Improvement. We've got the three of us here waiting on people to give us a call, 845-362-0013, and be happy to work and help answer your question.
Right, Mike. So being that today's show is about architecture, we want to know when the first plans were created and what century and perhaps what building. So we'll give you those answers in about 10 minutes.
The pyramids.
The pyramids. Well, the pyramids, but where are the plans? Which ones have the plans?
It was carved into a stone.
That's it. The old, right. So we have a famous quote from architects again, as we started last week. So we wanted to, this one here comes from one of my favorite guys, and we talked about him just a moment ago. You can use an eraser on a drawing table or a sledgehammer on the construction site, Bill. Who said that? Who's that? That could be David Letterman.
But Murphy and Clancy said, you can catch a thief, but you can't catch a liar.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
There you go.
All right, well, we're going to give that to you. You know what? This one here comes from our good friend, Frank Lloyd Wright. This is a Frank Lloyd Wright.
Nice.
And, of course, you folks watching out there, I got my Frank Lloyd Wright glasses on through Mr. Versace. Okay, so quick green tip, and then we're going to go, since the cool tool girl is not in, we're going to have Kerry do a little quick section on this. We have a few minutes, but the green tip of the week here, this is for homeowners and what the benefits of green building are. The green building reduces the home's environmental footprint, which means it allows you to save some money. Okay, it gives you lower operating costs.
Always
so
a plus.
and we went through a bunch of stuff about in the last few weeks doing a quick energy audit and proper insulation. Bill gave us some information on that, and reduce, reuse, and recycle your old materials when you're doing a new project.
Whenever possible.
So whenever you're doing a green construction, obviously it improves the comfort of your home, it improves the environmental quality, and it enhances the durability and the longevity of your house, which means reduced maintenance. So always keep in mind when you're doing construction, as we are here in the ABCs of Home Improvement, we want to do as green a job as we can for you folks out there when we're doing our work.
It saves the area and the planet.
Absolutely. So again, pictures of the week, get on there next week and put them on for us. Kerry, why don't you had a question. Did you have a question?
I do have a question. I enjoyed listening to you today, Lee.
Oh, thank you.
And my question is, when people think of architects, I immediately think of, for an addition or a major change in your home. But I've noticed a lot of people, especially seniors in the area, or it could be the opposite, somebody young with some kids getting older, may want to consider kind of repurposing their house. They may not be so happy with the space that's being utilized, but they also do not want to put on a huge addition because of the tax implications. So can an architect help with that? Can you help kind of rearrange the inside of the house?
Okay, Carrie, so we're going to answer that as we'll see what this call is, and we'll give you a quick answer on that. But the overall answer is yes, absolutely. Repurposing. We do that all the time, and we're going to get into that in a second. We have a caller. Hello, caller. Welcome to the ABCs of Home Improvement. What's your name? Where are you calling from? And
hey,
how?
Vinny Beretta, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on?
Listen, I got a deck in my backyard.
Okay.
It's got womanized wood from 1999.
All right.
I want to put Trex wood. Can I put Trex wood over top?
Billy, I'm going to push that over to Billy. I would say the ultimate answer is yes. However, if the material is a little soft, you might want to just remove it and put the Trex directly down on the joist. But let me hand Billy. You got that question? He wants to put Trex on top of his old 1999 womanized wood decking. He wants to know if you can go over the top of it. I think it also creates a drainage problem with some of the water that might get stuck between the lapping there. But Bill, go ahead, take it.
No, I wouldn't. Nobody would. Get it? Wood?
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody would.
A little pun there.
Yeah. So, it's just not a good idea. Take it off like everybody else would.
Right.
And put on the fake wood.
Right. The composite
Trex.
material.
Yes.
The long maintenance-free material.
Yes, the Trek decking. But, don't put it on top of old decking.
Yeah, agreed.
No, because you got a moisture problem and you got mold and mildew and
you're encapsulating some of that. Yep.
Yes, drainage problems. You want the water go. There's got to be a space between the planks for the water to get through.
Yes. So, how does that work for you?
So can I put some furring strips on the flat with some TL 400 and then put the Trex over top of that?
I don't think that's the best solution.
You could do whatever you want. I mean, I don't care if you beat them up. But do whatever you want. But it's just be careful of trapping moisture between the two layers.
Right.
And
that womanized material could be soft in spots, so you're really hiding a problem that later on down the road. Now you got to remove 2 sets of decking and put the old stuff in, get rid of the old stuff and put the Trex back down. So you're really not saving much by trying to do that. I mean, you're saving a few $100 in decking removal and disposal. So to me, it would be better to start fresh right on the joist.
Don't be a cheapskate or a spendthrift.
Well, you're going to want. Yeah. Now listen. Do you want the wine tasting? Since you're our first and only caller
what are you going to
today?
say? What you going to say? I love the ABCs of home improvement.
Right. If you like, or
if
you
say that,
you want a free gift here that we're giving away, a screwdriver set to help you take the decking up or something.
It's too nice.
I like wine.
Okay, wine.
I like wine. I like the fall foliage. I might take the wine taste.
Okay, so good. So what we're going to do is Carrie's going to take you, while I answer her question, she's going to take your information off the air, and you go up to Torn Valley Vineyards up there in Torn Valley, mention the ABCs of Home Improvement. I give them your name so they'll have it, and you and a guest will be treated to a great wine tasting.
I would.
Hey, thanks a lot.
Thanks for listening. Have a great day. Ciao.
Take care.
All right.
I didn't hear his question because I don't have.
Hello, you're on the air with the ABCs of Home Improvement.
I love the ABCs of Home Improvement.
Oh, all right, man. So,
but
see, this one don't work.
Friendly neighborhood architect, even better.
All right.
I don't want anything for free. I just want to say this. I'm a businessman myself, and I want to let everybody out there know this is. I appreciate when someone returns my call, when somebody keeps an appointment, someone comes over and educates me about the work that I want to do. I highly recommend Laborio Durario, your friendly neighborhood architect. He's one of the good businessmen that I know, and there's very few in this county. I being one of them, I pride myself on doing the same things that Lee does. Very critical that we return a call and we keep an appointment. That's the biggest part of the battle right there. But also, I like to have an educated person there. Lee, I just want to thank you so much for coming over last week.
No, my
pleasure. Give me great
buddy.
education.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope it works out for you. I'm looking forward to hearing what the guys say when they come online there. And also, those signs keep popping up everywhere I go, man.
I just throw them in people's yards. I'm getting a lot of angry people saying, "Why'd you put a sign in my yard?" But anyway, I love the show.
I'm glad you're running, man. I'm going to vote for you.
Can I
see those signs out
Can
there.
I
Thanks,
interest
Clem.
you in a digital camera?
You know what? Yeah, I like to take pictures. My wife, no doubt. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, this is going here. We got the digital camera out for Clem.
Put his name on it.
All right, Pete Clemente. Absolutely great. Okay, Pete's Gutters. All right.
Later, guys.
Thanks,
All right.
bro. Hello, you're on the air with the ABCs of Home Improvement. What's your name? Where are you calling from? How can we help you? Hello, you're on.
Hi, you gave away the digital camera.
We did give away the digital camera. However, we do have other items here. We have a digital frame that can hold the pictures.
How many pictures, Lee?
Right, a million zillion pictures. We do also have, we have here the screwdriver set. Maybe you'd like a screwdriver set.
I'll autograph it.
No, I have a screwdriver set.
Okay, you know what we're going to do? So, since I know Clem, we're going to give you the digital camera, all right? And we're gonna pass. I have another digital camera I can get for Clem. So how's that?
Wait, maybe Clem likes wine.
Oh,
we'll send him to Torn Valley.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, so we'll have a digital camera for you, and I'll talk to Clem about his digital camera. How's that sound? We're going to have. Wait, did you say I love the ABCs of Home Improvement?
I love the ABCs of Home Improvement.
All right, now you're in. And where are you calling from?
Airmont.
Oh, excellent. Good job. Okay, so Kerry's going to take your name off the air here. I'm going to answer her questions. Thanks for calling. Have a great day.
Thank you, too.
All right. Okay, so there you go. So a few things just fired right out the door there. Clem, I don't know what to tell you, brother. I guess the digital camera, we're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way and just draw the pictures. So Kerry asked a question about repurposing. We only have a few minutes left here. But yes, repurposing is a very big part of the market now, especially basement areas, attic areas that haven't been finished. We try and find spaces that have not been utilized and utilize them and repurpose them for the folks that are trying to do projects and save on the taxes by staying in the envelope.
I've got this ringing in my ears.
I don't understand what that is. I mean, where was it all day long? And now we're trying to get off the air. I got places to go and things to do. And here the phone's ringing off the hook.
1 minute. WRCR. Hold on, please. All right, they're going nuts.
So,
yeah, no, don't.
Welcome to the ABCs of Home Improvement. You have 30 seconds. Go.
I love the ABCs of Home Improvement. Can I have wine tasting?
All right. You know what? We have one left over. Give your name to Kerry on the air, off the air right now, and we'll do it. We have.
I was just interested in some insulation under a crawl space. Can I put that on the ground, or do I have to put it up on the
Billy?
No, absolutely
Never on the ground. Never on the ground.
No, that has to go up in between the
beams?
Yes.
I can't just throw in the bale in there just to kind of insulate it.
No, you can't. So it has to be installed correctly.
Yes, or it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
No, it has to be done correctly, or it's worthless.
Right.
Yeah, I have to hire somebody because I don't like going under that crawl space.
Billy loves crawl spaces. Billy.
I do, but sometimes there's snakes under there.
Yeah.
Could be a snake.
No, but I think there's lots of spiders.
Spiders are good.
Oh, there's definitely spiders. I mean, and mice and
that's what the snakes
what's worse
eat,
than mice is rats. But yeah, that's what the snakes eat. The mice.
That's it.
So,
and the spiders.
Well, so I can't just put that on the ground.
No.
Maybe they're spider mites.
No, you need to get somebody in there to first go under there with a flashlight and
you gotta
see
pull
what
it
you
out
have.
If it's on the ground, Bill.
And then we got to do it correctly.
Area.
It's got to be viewed first to make sure.
It's a small area, but I did have frozen pipes last year, and
you're going to have frozen pipes again.
And first,
they're going to freeze and break.
And what we can do for you, or somebody can do for you, is they should insulate those pipes with pipe insulation, and then put the insulation back in place the proper way. So there's 2 steps to that project there.
Right. Well, the plumber did do something with the pipes, but I do need to insulate the crawl space.
Yeah, well, he set them up to be broken, it sounds like. If he didn't insulate them to begin with, they should have been insulated when they were done. If they're in a crawl space and in any unheated space, your pipe should have pipe insulation around them. And then the insulation can get packed around that in the bays.
Okay.
But thanks for the call. And you gave Kerry the information?
I didn't do that yet.
Oh, okay. All right.
Thank you
All right,
again.
hold on. Thanks. Have a great day. Thanks for listening.
Okay, that's great. No more callers.
No more. Listen, really. I mean, why don't you guys spread it out there? I mean, I don't understand. Kerry's got only 2 hands, and she's barely managing over here. So, but thanks for calling, all you folks out there. Now, okay, let's get to the questions of the week here. The questions of the week, because we only have a few minutes left.
Make the turn. Come on.
Make the turn. Let's see what we got here. What and where were the first plans done? Okay, Bill. Now here, They were drawn on 5 sheets of parchment paper, okay? And they were red, brown, and black ink was used, and the scale was 1 to 192, okay? And it was a plan for St. Gall, Gall. And that was one of the oldest known surviving architectural plans for a cathedral that was never built in medieval times.
Wow,
the 9th
nice.
century, Bill.
Can you imagine that? That's incredible.
Closely tied with history is the development of standardized reproduction of drawings so they could build them. Now, when you get into the Renaissance, we have our good paisan, Felipe Brunelleschi.
Hey, Felipe!
And Brunelleschi, what he did is he used an old-fashioned camera to sort of copy the architectural drawing. So that was the first sort of blueprint that was made from an existing drawing that was recopied from an old camera, and those are the first ones that are actually known to be a reproduction, the first reproduction plans from our good friend Brunelleschi. Right? And that was it. And then the U.S. Capitol design in modern times from 1796. So those are the myriad of types of drawings that are out there, and those are the historic pieces that we have for you folks. And we're glad that you folks called in here and gave us a little boost, because sometimes we sit here and we don't know, is anybody out there? With the 10 billion zillion watts that we're pumping out here, put down your cup of coffee once in a while and give us a call. Let us know that you're alive and that you love wine. Torn Valley Vineyards, don't forget, guys, okay? I'm going to mention it a few more times. Halloween party, the Monster Mash Bash with the Funk That Band, all that funkin' stuff that you could possibly imagine up there with great wine, great people, great place, okay? And get up there today and have a little wine tasting. Mike, we're going to go out. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Look forward to talking to you next week here at the ABCs of Home Improvement. Put your pictures of the week up there and see if you can win a wine tasting or a screwdriver set. Have a great day.
Thanks.